Welcome to the League of Nerds comic book segment number 87. I'm John Cooney here to talk to you about comics released the 25th of September 2013. But before I do, I apologize for my voice this week. I've been addressing some medical conditions this week, and unfortunately one of the medications I'm taking causes severe dry mouth and shortness of breath, and that's made it difficult for me to talk. But the show must go on, so I'll begin as usual with my first five, meaning these are the first 5 books I intend to read this week, and I'll give you a little more depth on them, starting with at number 1, Wolverine and the X-Men number 36. Battle of the Atom Part 5. The end of the first month ends with a huge twist. No spoilers, the fate of the all-new X-Men is decided here. Series writer Jason Aaron recently explained what it's like to work with not just other writers, but with their characters as well. Quote, "It's wild. I think it's been similar to Avengers vs. X-Men, but a little more relaxed in that we're all just writing issues of our own books instead of all of us writing one series. In some sense, with Wolverine and the X-Men, I have to put aside some of the usual cast members, especially with the first issue, as it does not take place at the Jean Grey School. It's not the typical setting for the book. You don't see many of my students running around. Some of them may pop up over the course of Battle of the Atom, but they're not in the main focus of the story. In some sense, a lot of it is writing characters from other books, which is fun. In my first issue, I got to write Brian Michael Bendis' Uncanny X-Men. I got to write his kids in Cyclops, Emma Frost, and Magneto. That's fun. You get to play with those toys that you don't play with on a monthly basis. This stuff is all outlined. We do a lot of phone calls, and we had a retreat. Everything goes through editor Nick Lowe so that we have a roadmap for this entire story. Fun little things still happen. It's still fun when you're going along and someone throws something down that someone picks up. There are always fun little surprises like that. It certainly is a challenge when you're dealing with that many characters. Usually I just feel bad for the artist when I'm writing a page and it's got so many characters on it all interacting and talking and fighting. It can be a lot to manage. For me, the important thing is story-wise and fight-wise to make sure that it's not just a mess. I want to find a firm position for whoever is fighting and that you understand where these different sides stand and what they're fighting about. The stuff I get to do at the end of the first month of Battle of the Atom, it's kind of the first big fight, the precursor to the final colossal melee. It's fun. It's fun to bounce those characters off each other. We haven't seen Wolverine's side and Cyclops' side come face to face too much in recent years since Schism. We get to bring them back together in a big way with these crazy future X-Men thrown into the mix. When there are too many cool characters to play with and so many cool moving parts, so many strong personalities, it's just a blast to throw that stuff together. Usually the only problem is that I feel I could write 40 pages of this instead of just 20, close quote. And number 2, we've got Saga number 14, Gwendolyn and Slave Girl Think About the Future. Saga won 3 Eisner Awards at this year's Comic-Con International, including Best Continuing Series and Best New Series, and was awarded 6 Harvey Awards, including Best Artist and Best Color for series artist Fiona Staples. Staples recently walked through the process for putting together an issue of Saga. Quote, "I read the script and thumbnail it, and then scan those thumbnails in and use them as pencils. I shoot quite a bit of photo references, usually just to myself. Then I link the figures and the foreground elements in Manga Studio and do the background and colors in Photoshop." Close quote. She also spoke about the design of Saga's main characters. Quote, "I was told that Marco should have ram horns, Alana should have small insect-like wings, and that they were young and attractive. Everything else was up to me. Sometimes I wonder what other artists would have come up with based on those descriptions." Close quote. At number 3, we've got Batman The Dark Knight number 23.4, The Joker's Daughter. The Gotham Underground is quickly becoming a base of power in the DC universe. After the destruction of Arkham Asylum, the Joker's Daughter is gaining hordes of followers across the terrifying and brutal landscape. In a world where ugly is considered beautiful, what dark initiation rites befall this mad woman's new recruits? Writer Ann Nocenti explained her concept of the Joker's Daughter. Quote, "My editors at DC sent me 2 images. The first one was of a skinny girl, just skin and bones and a twisted face. The other was an image of how she would end up as the Joker's daughter in that great jaunty outfit. I loved her look right away. The way the artist had her jut out her hip, her sly grin, her sassy attitude, her 'I'm ugly, so what' vibe, it slammed against everything young girls want today. This girl wasn't trying to look pretty and sexy. She radiated strength and pride in her non-conventional look. So I started with this idea that she's defiantly ugly, purposefully ugly, proud to be ugly. And then the next question became, what is ugly? So I started developing her origin from that question. And of course, the power that Scott Snyder built into the face was a profound place to start from. I would say that she is neither outright villain nor trickster, although she has some qualities of both. She's a bit of a sociopath in that she lacks empathy and is driven by selfish motives. She's clear in what she wants. She isn't subservient to anyone. She's not babbling crazy. She's strong, crisply intelligent, and highly functional, and yet she has the mood swings of a manic depressive. She can careen from crippling despair to world-conquering arrogance in a heartbeat. She is, basically, a normal teenager. With the twist, she doesn't yearn for beauty or marriage. She wants to empower herself to celebrate exactly who she is. To her, ugly is the new beautiful. Close quote. At number 4, we've got Wake, number 4 of 10. Trapped, drowning, dying. Could things get worse for Dr. Lee and her team? Yes, they could. Much worse, in fact. Turns out the shocking discovery of the creature was only the beginning. Vertigo's hit new series continues. Series writer Scott Snyder commented on the success of this series. Quote, I was incredibly grateful. My first impulse was always to suspect that it was my mother buying 10,000 copies of the book. This was a book for Sean and me that we had been planning since, I think it was 2009. I sent the pitch into DC when I was on Detective Comics, and they wanted to do it, but it really became waiting for when Sean was available because he was working on Punk Rock Jesus, which was just masterful. It was simply finding time to do this together because it was always designed for us to work on as a team. I knew that he was the perfect guy for it because it has that sci-fi element that needs a great world builder like him, but at the same time it needs that paranoid, claustrophobic, dark emotional feeling of being trapped in a tin can with a monster. I knew he could pull it off with his dark inks and expressiveness. But with the sales, we wanted to do it for fun with no exceptions. I was like, there's going to be a K-band in the first issue and there's going to be a girl with wings 200 years in the future. This is probably not going to sell tremendously well. It was designed as a book where we could both push ourselves, and I mean that wholeheartedly and hope people can see that. For me, it's something really different in terms of the subject matter and the breadth and scope of the story. When you hit issue 5, I know you have issue 4 at the end of the month, but 4 ratchets things up insanely, and 5 is the big game changer issue that turns the whole story on its head towards the more speculative science fiction you see in those tags at the end of the beginning of the story. To see people respond the way that they have genuinely means the world to us, and I can't thank people enough for picking it up because it makes me feel good about trying new things. If we tried it and it totally bombed, it would be scary to go out and try to do other series or things different from what you've done before. The validation that people want to see you do something outside of your wheelhouse means a tremendous amount. It definitely made me excited to do more creator-owned work, which is a huge priority for me in 2014 and 2015. Close quote. And at number 5, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy number 6. The blockbuster new series hits hard as Marvel's newest superstar, Angela, comes right for the Guardians. Round 1 is Gamora versus Angela, with an entire universe at stake. All that, and comics legend Neil Gaiman joins the award-winning Ultimate Spider-Man team of Bendis and Pichelli in this one-of-a-kind comic book event. Marvel editor-in-chief Axel Alonso explained the level of coordination required for Angela's transition to the Marvel U. Quote, it hasn't been that complicated. Between conference calls, Skyping, and the old-fashioned way, just getting together in one room to talk, it's been easy. The moment we knew that we were bringing back Angela at the end of Age of Ultron, the pressing question was, how was she going to look so Joe Quesada could get cracking? So we dealt with that quickly. To solve the larger stuff, how she fits into the Marvel Universe, we convened a small group of editors, Joe and Brian Bendis, to review Angela's existing mythology and see how it could map against the Marvel Universe. We had some ideas that we sent to Angela's creator Neil Gaiman, who incorporated what he liked, discarded what he didn't, and put together a rich backstory that shows that Angela has always been here, with a mythology that's fascinating, easy to understand, and tethered to the Marvel Universe readers know and love. Angela doesn't come from another dimension. She's always been a part of the Marvel Universe. Close quote. Rounding out the top 10 at number 6, we've got Ultimate Comics Spider-Man number 27. Spider-Man No More continues. Miles comes face to face with the evil of Roxxon. They created Venom, and because of Venom, Miles' mother is dead. Miles is gonna unleash hell. At number 7, we've got Revival number 14. M seeks redemption for herself by vowing to protect a young girl from the creature that haunts her. But can even a girl that can't die deal with something that may not be alive? Number 8, we've got Jupiter's Legacy. Number 3, the heroes conspire to overthrow the Utopian. Discontent rumbling is in bars and the clubs where the superheroes get wasted and complain how much he's been holding them all back with his old-fashioned ideas of power and responsibility. There's a new world out there if they'll only grasp it, but what is his daughter's secret and how will it change things forever for their family? At number 9, we've got Young Avengers number 10. It's Mother's Day. Don't worry, you won't forget. She won't let you. Who's bringing mother presents? And at number 10, we've got Nova number 8, Infinity Tie-In. Nova's first taste of the power of a mad cosmic god threatens to blah, blah, blah. Look, Novanauts, this one's huge. Get it before we make a movie out of it. For the best of the rest from DC Comics, we've got Action Comics number 23.4, Metallo. Before he became Metal Zero, John Corbin had two great loves, his country and Lois Lane. Awakening from a coma after the events of Action Comics number 8, Corbin finds himself betrayed by both, and now his kryptonite heart beats only for revenge. And when he joins up with the secret society, there's no limit to the destruction he can cause. Next, we've got Aquaman 23.2, Ocean Master. Ocean Master is freed from Belle Reve and wants no part of the secret society. He just wants to go home to Atlantis. But he has a long, bloody journey across the surface world in front of him, and he might not make it back. Next, we've got Batman 23.4, Bane. Batman is gone, and the inmates of Arkham Asylum are running wild in the streets. Bane is in Gotham City with one goal, to take it over no matter who he has to break. We've also got Batman and Robin number 23.4, Killer Croc. As the battle for Gotham City continues to build, the scales become unbalanced when the ferocious Killer Croc enters the fray. Next, we've got Batman Superman 3.1. Long before Superman fought the unstoppable monster known as Doomsday, the Beast's reputation for death and destruction haunted the Man of Steel's homeworld of Krypton. We've also got Detective Comics number 23.4, Man-Bat. Dr. Langstrom is given in to the Man-Bat side of his personality. Left unchecked in a world without heroes, he brutally stalks his prey in Gotham City. If Langstrom won't stop himself, who will? We've also got Green Lantern number 23.4, Sinestro. Years ago, Sinestro used his Green Lantern ring to utterly dominate his home planet of Corridor, all in the name of protecting his people. It's the mistake that turned his name into a curse and brought down the greatest Green Lantern of them all, but one never-before-seen moment of those dark days holds the key to his future. Next, we've got Justice League number 23.4, Secret Society. An army of supervillains has been built throughout the New 52 during 2013, but for what purpose? Learn about the villains that have paved the way for the world of forever evil. We've also got Justice League of America 7.4, Black Adam. Where is Black Adam? And what series of events is triggered when the Secret Society attacks Kandak? Discover all of this and much more in this issue. Next, we've got Superman 23.4, Parasite. Parasite, noun, an organism that lives in or on another organism, preferably Superman. Next, we've got Tom Strong and the Planet of Peril number 3 of 6. New Egypt, a vast tent city full of refugees from the cities, is Val and Tom's next stop. Will the gods there be willing to help them find Tom Strange and the elixir they desperately need to save Tesla's life? And we've got Wonder Woman number 23.2, Firstborn. The firstborn son of Zeus, Wonder Woman's oldest brother, has returned to claim the throne of Olympus. But it's been a long and bloody road to reach his destiny, and you won't believe the horror when you meet the rest of Wonder Woman's extended family. From Marvel Comics, we've got A+X number 12, Beast and Wonder Man together again. Captain America meets his match in Jubilee. Next, we've got Avengers number 20, Affinity Tie-In, Avengers Universe 3, Unexpected Overtures from the Builders, a meeting of ex-Nihilos, Total Unconditional Surrender. We've also got Avengers Assemble number 19, Infinity Tie-In, Part 2 of 2, Spider-Woman and Black Widow to the rescue. Watch out, alien marauders, these ladies pack a sting. Next, we've got FF number 12, Hulk vs. Thing. And it's one for the ages. As the kids in the FF start growing apart, their adult supervision seems to be having some issues of their own. Next, we've got Gambit number 17. Gambit's latest solo series reaches its climactic conclusion. Torn between his separate lives, mutant hero and master thief, Gambit is forced to make a choice between the two, with major consequences for what comes next. But he better make his choice fast, because he's trapped at the center of a deadly supervillain riot, and a few of them may have scores to settle with Gambit himself. We've also got Infinity Heist number 1 of 4, Infinity Tie-In. As the Marvel U prepares for Thanos, Spymaster and some of Marvel's best baddies decide where there's chaos, there's opportunity. It's the crime of the century as an alien invasion is the cover they need, so why is Blizzard having doubts? Frank Thierry and Ramon Box bring you the biggest score. It's the Infinity Heist. We've also got Punisher, The Trial of the Punisher number 1 of 2. The unthinkable happened when the Punisher surrenders himself to police. The trial of the century begins as Frank Castle admits to murdering a district attorney. Is this the end of the Punisher's war on crime? Next, we've got Superior Spider-Man Team-Up number 3, the official Superior Spider-Man Infinity tie-in. As Thanos' forces set their sights on Earth, there are a few heroes left to answer the battle call. But how many heroes do you really need when the most superior one of all is ready to defend his turf? Featuring the debut of an all-new Sun Girl. And we've got Uncanny Avengers number 12, The Dark Origin of the Apocalypse Twins. Kang's true motives revealed. A secret pact between Ahab and the Red Skull that will bring horror to all mutants. Bring on the bad guys. From Dynamite Entertainment, we've got Battlestar Galactica number 4, marooned in a reality where the Battlestar Galactica never existed and the Cylons rule supreme. Apollo joins a very different version of his father in his relentless resistance against the Cylon domination. Meanwhile, imprisoned in the holding cells of a Cylon base star, Starbuck discovers an unexpected and startling new ally. From Image Comics, we've got East of West number 6, Justice, the work of the Chosen is revealed as the Ranger is recruited to hunt down and kill Death. And we've got Fatale number 17, the Bishop disappeared in Los Angeles in the late 70s in a fiery scream, but he's never really been gone, and now he's finally got Joe sent again. And remember, each issue of Fatale contains extra content, articles, and artwork that are not available anywhere but the printed single issues. Out in trades this week, we've got Walking Dead 100 Project trade paperback. Robert Kirkman and Skybound team up with the Hero Initiative to present 100 all-new covers envisioning the horrors of the best-selling The Walking Dead. This art book features brand new pieces by The Walking Dead artists Charlie Adler, Paulo Rivera, Ryan Otley, Rafael Albuquerque, and more. This book will never be reprinted, and all proceeds go to the Hero Initiative and comic book creators in need. And we've got Spider-Man 2099 Volume 2 trade paperback. Miguel O'Hara, the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man of the year 2099, returns. When Spider-Man clashes with the public eye, he finds himself at a disadvantage, but it's suddenly saved by the mysterious Thanatos. Has Downtown found a new hero, or does Thanatos have a more sinister agenda? And what is his connection to the mysterious Net Prophet, who arrived in 2099 through a portal from a strange new universe? When Thanatos reveals his true colors, Spider-Man must battle for survival in a virtual unreality world. Plus, who is Mutagen, and why is he targeting people born with genetic impurities? And Miguel has his hands full when he battles a body-controlling virus, investigates a century-old Soviet submarine, and faces the explosive Chernobyl. Collect Spider-Man 2099 11 through 14 in annual number 1, and material from 2099 Unlimited 1 through 3. Okay, so that's just a few of my favorite books out this week. There's still plenty of others available. And of course, you can follow everything I'm reading on Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, or Twitter. You can find links to everything in the About section of He'sGotIssues.com. And a reminder that both He's Got Issues and the League of Nerds are proud members of the Comics Podcast Network. So until next week, I'm John Cooney, and I've got issues.